At a backyard barbecue that was supposed to be forgettable. Cheap burgers, plastic chairs, and forced laughter. My wife decided to make me the joke of the evening. She raised her drink, smiling too wide, and said loudly, "Who wants to trade my husband? He's low maintenance but has absolutely no ambition." People laughed. The kind of laughter that means thank God it's not me. I smiled too because I always smiled. Then our recently divorced neighbor, Vanessa, leaned back, eyes sharp, confidence effortless. "I'll take him," she said. More laughter. But then she looked straight at me and added, "So, when should I pick him up?" The air changed instantly. Conversation stalled mid-sentence. Even the grill seemed quieter. My wife's smile froze, then vanished completely. For the first time that night, she looked uncertain, embarrassed, threatened. And in that moment, I realized something important. She wasn't joking because she was funny. She was joking because she thought I was harmless. Replaceable. Someone who would never leave. I didn't respond. I didn't defend myself. I just watched her panic bloom in real time. And that silence was the beginning of the end. To everyone else, I was the easy husband. Reliable. Predictable. The man who showed up, paid bills, fixed things, and didn't complain. My wife, Claire, thrived on ambition. Promotions. Titles. Attention. She loved saying she married potential, then laughing about how it never quite materialized. What she never understood was that stability was my ambition. I built a small construction business from nothing, one contract at a time. No investors. No shortcuts. Just work. But in her world, success had to be loud to matter. That barbecue wasn't the first joke. Just the first one said too boldly. I'd learned to swallow comments, dismiss looks, ignore the subtle disrespect. Marriage teaches you compromise, but I'd mistaken endurance for love. When Vanessa spoke up, something shifted. Not desire. Not temptation. Awareness. For the first time, someone looked at me like I was worth choosing. Claire noticed it immediately. Her confidence wavered. She laughed it off, but her eyes kept checking me, measuring damage. That night, lying in bed beside her, I stared at the ceiling and wondered when exactly I had become the man she felt comfortable humiliating. I didn't sleep much. But I decided something important. I was done being quiet. It was 2 weeks later when she came home smelling like his cologne. Not subtle. Not accidental. Heavy, expensive, and absolutely not mine. She brushed past me in the hallway, already talking about a late client dinner. That's when I noticed the bruises on her thighs. Finger-shaped, dark, too deliberate to explain away. She noticed me noticing. Tugged her skirt down. Avoided my eyes. I didn't ask questions. Not because I was weak, but because I already knew the answers. That night, I lay awake listening to her breathe, pretending to sleep like nothing was wrong. In the morning, she left early. No goodbye. No explanation. Just silence. I spent the day working, hands moving on autopilot while my mind pieced everything together. Late nights. Business trips. Phone always face down. Credit card charges that didn't add up. The joke at the barbecue suddenly made sense. She didn't fear losing me. She assumed I wouldn't go anywhere. That assumption was her biggest mistake. Because while she was playing house with someone else, I was planning my exit quietly, carefully, and without drama. I wasn't interested in confrontation. I was interested in control. I didn't follow her immediately. I waited. Patterns matter more than moments. Tuesday and Thursday nights were work. Fridays were girls' dinners. Saturdays were yoga. I checked addresses. Watched from a distance. Learned his name. Learned where he lived. Learned how easily she lied. What surprised me most wasn't the cheating. It was how practiced she was at it. 15 years of marriage, and I was discovering I'd never really known her. So I started preparing. New bank account. Small transfers. Nothing noticeable. I contacted a lawyer. Quiet. Efficient. Professional. I documented everything. Receipts. Dates. Locations. I found a small apartment across town. Month to month. Nothing fancy. Just mine. Then she announced a business trip. 3 days. Perfect timing. While she was gone, I packed only what mattered. Tools. Clothes. Personal documents. Memories that belonged to me. I left everything else. On the kitchen counter, I placed a note. 5 words. No anger. No explanation. Just truth. He can have what's left. When I locked the door behind me, I didn't feel rage. I felt relief. And I knew, when she came home to that empty house, the joke would finally be on her. She came back on Sunday evening. I know because the security camera notification popped up on my phone while I was sitting on the floor of my new apartment eating takeout from a white plastic container. I didn't open the app. I didn't need to see it. I already knew what it would show, her pulling into the driveway, confused by the empty garage, walking into the house, calling my name, the echo answering back. I imagined the way her heels would click against the hardwood floors that now felt bigger without furniture. I imagined her reaching the kitchen counter, finding the note, reading it once, then again, trying to understand how the low-maintenance husband suddenly grew a spine. My phone started ringing minutes later. Claire. I let it go to voicemail. Then again. And again. By the 6th call, she was texting. Where are you? What is this? Stop being dramatic. Dramatic. That word almost made me laugh. There was nothing dramatic about what I did. No shouting. No broken plates. Just action. Silence is powerful when used correctly. I turned my phone off and went back to eating. For the first time in months, I wasn't waiting for lies. Monday morning, the calls came from a different number. Her lawyer. Predictable. Claims of abandonment. Threats about shared assets. Attempts to paint me as unstable. I'd already prepared for that. Documentation changes the game. Receipts from expensive restaurants. Hotel charges. Gifts purchased with our joint credit card. I wasn't trying to destroy her. I was protecting myself. Massachusetts may be a no-fault state, but financial misconduct still matters. My lawyer handled the rest. Calm. Clinical. Efficient. By lunchtime, Claire's version of events was already falling apart. Meanwhile, gossip started spreading through the neighborhood. Moving trucks don't go unnoticed. Neighbors talk. People remember the barbecue joke. People remember how she used to belittle me casually. Funny how perception shifts when context changes. Suddenly, I wasn't the boring husband. I was the man who walked away without begging. That unsettled her more than anything. She showed up at my new apartment that evening, banging on the door, demanding to talk. I didn't open it. I let her shout herself hoarse in the parking lot. When she finally left, I sat there in the quiet and realized something simple. She wasn't upset that I was gone. She was upset that she didn't control the exit. The confrontation happened at the Iron Anchor that Friday night. Small town. Limited entertainment. Drama travels fast. I was playing pool when the door opened and in she walked, with him. Oh, polish. Confident in that fragile way men are when they think they've won something. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Claire approached first. We need to talk, she said, voice tight. I took my shot and sank the ball before answering. I'm busy. Her boyfriend extended his hand like we were at a networking event. Let's be adults about this. I looked at his hand, then at him. Adults don't sleep with married women. That landed. Claire flushed red. He started talking about love. About how what we had was already over. I laughed. Not loudly, but enough. She didn't choose you, I said calmly. She chose attention. There's a difference. Then I mentioned the other nights. Other locations. The possibility of overlapping lies. I didn't even need proof for all of it. The doubt alone was enough. I watched his confidence fracture in real time. She looked panicked. That's the thing about liars. They forget that stories collide eventually. After that night, everything unraveled quickly. He started asking questions she couldn't comfortably answer. Checking dates. Checking timelines. The fantasy collapsed under basic scrutiny. Meanwhile, she tried to regain control through intimidation. restraining order threats, harassment claims, emotional manipulation. "You're ruining my life," she told me during one phone call I finally answered. I kept my tone neutral. "No. I just stopped protecting your lies." That was the core of it. 4 years, I'd absorbed disrespect quietly, smiled through jokes, ignored red flags, shielded her image. The moment I stopped doing that, her world shifted. She couldn't frame me as the unstable husband because I wasn't yelling. I wasn't chasing. I wasn't begging. I was calm. And calm men are dangerous in situations like this. She asked if I ever loved her. I told her the truth. I did. But love without respect is just dependency. Silence followed. Heavy. Real. She hung up first. The divorce moved forward faster than she expected. Once her lawyer saw the financial documentation, settlement discussions became more cooperative. She kept the house, the furniture, the car. I kept my business, my tools, and what mattered most, my peace. People kept asking if I felt vindicated. I didn't. Revenge wasn't the point. Clarity was. There's a difference. One evening, weeks later, I ran into Vanessa, the neighbor from the barbecue. She smiled knowingly. "So, did anyone ever pick you up?" she teased lightly. I shook my head. Turns out I had to pick myself up. She laughed. Genuine. No humiliation behind it. Just respect. That felt different. I realized something standing there under those same patio lights where it all started. Sometimes it takes public disrespect to wake you up privately. The joke that was meant to shrink me ended up exposing everything wrong in my marriage. Claire called one last time before signing the final papers. No anger this time. Just exhaustion. "I didn't think you'd actually leave," she admitted quietly. That sentence said more than anything else she could have confessed. She never believed I would choose myself. "You underestimated me," I replied. She asked if there was any chance of reconciliation. I thought about it honestly. About history. About comfort. About habit. Then I said, no. Not cruel. Not cold. Just firm. When the papers were finalized, she moved to another city. New job. Fresh narrative. Maybe she'll rewrite the story there. Maybe she'll learn something. That part isn't mine to control anymore. I stayed. Same town. Same bar. Same business. But not the same man. Nights in my small apartment are simple. Sometimes quiet. Sometimes lonely. But never confusing. I don't check anyone's phone. I don't wonder where someone is. I sleep without imagining cologne that isn't mine. There's strength in simplicity. I used to think ambition meant chasing bigger things. Now I understand ambition can also mean protecting your dignity. Stability isn't weakness. Loyalty isn't boring. Those are rare traits. And rare things shouldn't be mocked. The barbecue story still circulates around town occasionally. People laugh differently now. Not at me. At the irony. The man who was low maintenance turned out to be the only one who didn't need validation from strangers. Looking back, the night she joked about trading me wasn't humiliation. It was a warning sign. The moment Vanessa said, "I'll take him," my wife's smile vanished because for the first time she realized something dangerous. Value is only invisible until someone else recognizes it. She thought I'd never leave. She thought I'd always accept less than I deserved. She was wrong. I didn't destroy her life. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I just stepped out of a situation that no longer respected me. Sometimes the strongest move isn't confrontation. It's departure. She wanted ambition. She wanted excitement. She wanted options. In the end, she got exactly what she asked for. And me? I got peace. And peace is worth more than any house, any title, or any woman who forgets your value.